is this is where I see people almost always fall, is the holidays. Whenever the holidays roll around, whenever that is the next holiday, usually it's the holidays, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. But a lot of times it is also a birthday, anniversary, something like that. So we got to learn how to eat and stay on our diet. It has to be part of our plan. So this is my strategy. There's lots of ways of doing this. Some people completely skip meals up until the meal. I don't like that because then you're going to end up overeating. You're going to have this guilt and resentment. So I eat a little less at each meal. I might cut out 100 calories at each meal. That'll give me another 400 by the end of the day. And that's, a free slice of whatever the dessert is or something. So I eat a little bit less before each meal. Do not skip meals. That's what I said. I mean, I've heard people have success on this, but I've never personally seen it. I mean, that's just stories that I've heard. So I say do not skip meals. It is a killer. By the time you get to the big meal, you are so hungry, and ghrelin is the hunger hormone is just miserable. You are going to be overeating. Please do not skip any meals. Your first trip, I saw that your first plate, half veggies and fruit. There's usually some type of vegetable, even if it's not cooked the best. There's usually some type of vegetable. My family always has fruit. I don't know if that's not normal, but we have some fruit as a side. So half veggies and fruit, half of the plate. A fourth of the plate, lean protein, and a fourth is the starchy carb. That could be, mashed potatoes. I mean, these holidays vary so much. I'm trying to kind of leave it general. So, at Thanksgiving, it might be mashed potatoes and gravy or whatever. So a fourth of your plate can be those starchy carbs. If you have to kind of get a little bit of mashed potatoes, a little bit of stuffing, whatever, fit it into a fourth of your plate. Have it. Enjoy it. But that will keep your portion control down because those are going to be the things that hit you with the most calories. That can surprise you. That can, end up you way overeat. The lean protein, though, notice the lean protein in the veggies and fruit, as was I just talking about low calorie dense foods, those are going to fill you up and hopefully reduce your desire for what comes next, which is the second trip. Hopefully you don't even need that. But if you feel like you do, I still want you to participate. So a fistful of your two favorite things. That's kind of my general rule. So about the size of your fist of your two favorites. That could be, if I want more of that starchy carb, most likely that's what people are going to go back for. Go ahead. Have a little bit of it. And then add some protein to your plate again, or add more vegetables or add more fruit or whatever. Have that if you feel like you are still hungry. The reason I'm encouraging that second trip so much, why not just, I could easily tell you, hey, just go back for a second trip. You don't need it because you don't. But that's because of what comes next, which is going to be the dessert, which I never can spell right. I hope that's not desert. I think that's dessert. Anyways, so for dessert, you might get there and feel like you don't need anything, and good for you. But ask yourself deep down if you're really being honest with yourself. And there's a reason to that. I don't want a deep resentment and a year to go by and you have lost 100 pounds and you are killing it and you're crushing it. But now you have this resentment with health and fitness and dieting, and you get this unhealthy obsession with your body being better and better. It just seems like it goes down a pretty dark path whenever it is allowed to be fleshed out long enough where you miss out. In the United States especially, food is a part of our celebrations and our mourning. Funerals, everything has food at it. It's an important part of it. So whenever you skip that stuff, you're essentially, in the United States at least, we feel like we did not participate in it. We could have been there. We could have been with family. Everything could have been fun, but we did not participate without the food. So I like to allow people to have dessert. I think it's very important for the long-term success of your diet. So small portions of whatever you want, use a small plate. So smaller plate, obviously kind of a cliche thing at this point to use a smaller plate, but it is true. It really helps. So use a smaller plate, makes it feel like there's more on there, but get a small sliver of, my family will usually have like 2 different types of pie or something at Thanksgiving, or a cake and a pie at Christmas or something. They're dessert people. I'm not so much, but I still will participate in each one and just a sliver of it. Now, by this time, I forget if I put that in the, yes. So this next point, the real key is enjoyment and move on. I want you to participate. I want you to feel like you were there, you were present, there was no resentment. You did it. Great. With this strategy, eating a little less at each meal before, not skipping meals, the plate breakdown that I have on the next 3 points, you will have enjoyed yourself and you probably will have eaten too many calories. I'm not saying today's goal, remember, this is a day, this is an event, this is a family event, birthday, whatever. It's just one day, maybe 2 if you have Christmas the next day or something. 2 days max. Enjoy yourself and move on. You are going to have overeaten. You are not going to have overeaten by nearly enough to cause you to take steps back. If you are, let's say, 500 calories under your daily requirement of calories, and on this day you overeat by 1,000, you really only gained 500 calories of fat, because that will be converted to fat. You only gained 500, but we have to remember the whole week before you were 500 under, so the whole week after you're going to be 500 under if you move on. Is that a big deal? It's not a big deal at all. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's just not a big deal. It's all up here. Whenever we are defeated and whenever we feel guilty and we hate ourselves and we hate our bodies and we think we're a failure, and then we do that thing, we beat ourselves up by eating more food, which I don't know about you guys, but that's what I do. I eat more, or did eat more, in order to hurt myself, in order to, make what I thought was true more true. And that's that I'm a failure and I'm never going to accomplish this. So if we avoid that feeling, that is not a big deal at all. You can overeat by 1,000. You can overeat by 1,500 calories, and from your MyFitnessPal goal or from your weight loss goal, you only overate by 1,000 total. That's going to be turned into fat. And before and after, come on, that's nothing. That is nothing. It's just all in your head, really. You're just beating yourself up for no reason. So the ability to move on and for tomorrow to be a completely normal day, you win. You will never have trouble at the holidays again. Now, I know that, whenever we have Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and we have 2 Christmases and 2 Thanksgivings and it can really add up, but still, this holds true. If you apply this principle and you isolate each holiday or each event by itself, the day before, the day after, you will have made up for that surplus of calories, especially if you follow these rules, and you will have wasted 3 days, a total of 3 days, maybe 4 if there was 2 holidays in there. 4 days, you wasted 4 days. You didn't move backwards, you just wasted it. Now, the scale is going to say you're a lot heavier, and that's you holding water weight, because all of these things that tend to be at holidays is going to be water weight holding things. That is carbs, high sodium, anything fried. Those things are going to hold a ton of water. And so you might be 5-6 pounds heavy. Believe me, you did not gain 5 or 6 pounds. Did I say heavy? You did not gain. You might be 5 or 6 pounds heavier. You did not gain 5 or 6 pounds. That is just water being held in your muscles. And since you're probably on a weight loss journey anyway, your muscles are starved for the sugar and for the nutrients and all that stuff. Not starved, but they have been under where they like to be. That is the whole point. Your body is here and you are now eating here, and that gap right there, your body wants to fill that. It's not in homeostasis. You're not going to stay the same. That's the point. You're going to lose weight. Well, whenever you overeat a little bit, it's going to fill that up real quick. It's going to stuff those nutrients inside of your muscles that are a little bit underfed. And that is the whole point. We are technically underfeeding ourselves when we are losing weight. So your body's going to absorb that all up, and it's going to take a few days to see the actual results of that. But you got to break down to see that water weight go away. But you got to break down the numbers. At most, you have lost 4 days. It's not a big deal. If you move on, you can participate in these holidays, never fail in your diet again, and still go on your weight loss journey. And that is just such a winning formula. I spent a lot of time on this point, but I think that is super important.